Well, welcome to Talk with Taz. I'm your host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz, and today I'm joined by Nanette Buchanan. She's a poet, she's a novelist, and she's a survivor whose words don't just tell stories, they hold space. With 3 volumes of poetry, children's books, 13 novels, and a personal nonfiction work, Nanette calls her writing reality fiction because life itself is layered and sometimes messy, but always meaningful. After a 5-year battle with cancer, she's now speaking honestly about how she was able to survive that time in her life. Her latest book, Managing Your Madness, reminds us that surviving is not the finish line, it's only the beginning. And today she's here for anyone who looks fine on the outside, but might be quietly tired of as they're getting through the day, just being tired getting through the day. And so she's going to drop some wisdom on us. So, Nanette, welcome to Talk with Taz.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I am good. I am good. You look so beautiful today. You're letting us see your lovely face, which is what I said that you needed to do. But Nanette, we're going to just jump right in. You've written across many genres, poetry, fiction, children's book, and now a deeply personal memoir. At this stage in your life, why did it feel important to tell this story in this way right now?
Well, it's kind of strange. The writing journey, as you know, usually comes from someone's observations, maybe something they lived through, or maybe there's something that they just wanted to expand on that they knew about. Well, with my journey, I retired saying that I wanted to expand my writing abilities. I wanted to expand, hey, I like fiction. I like, different things, suspense and novels and, poetry and children books. Maybe I just want to expand. Well, right upon retiring, I was told I had cancer. So everything froze, including my mind. Everything just froze. Like, wait a minute, this was not in the plans. This was not what was supposed to be. And the books that I had already written, although not published, I couldn't see myself really digging into them and getting into them. So I saw a stop. I didn't see a detour. I didn't see a move on. I didn't see an escape. I saw a stop. And eventually, when we come to a stop, most of us that are women, I'll say that, not to negate the men, but most of us will openly say, God, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Sometimes we take it in silence, but a lot of times we just openly say it. We say it to our friends. We say it to our, anyone. I'm asking God, what am I supposed to do? So with that being said, there were many nights that I sat going through the preliminaries. You're going for the scans, you're going for the tests, you're going to this, and they're telling you all of this stuff, and you're trying to take it in, and you're trying to evaluate yourself, and you're Googling stuff you shouldn't be Googling, and you're checking things you shouldn't be checking. But I kept asking, what is this? And not so much the sickness, but why would you take me this far to stop me? Why would you have me stop? And I just kept asking. And finally, in our quiet moments, sometimes we get that voice, regardless if it's ancestors that talk, regardless if it's a song that talks, regardless if it's a word that talks, we get a whisper. Yes. And we have to pay attention. And that whisper said, write it. So I wrote Managing Your Madness because that's where I was. I was in the midst of mental madness. And then I thought about it and I said, you know what? You don't have to have cancer to be in the middle of madness. So this is a book that I wrote thinking, if I show some examples of things that are not related to cancer, that are not related to, the norms of, well, I've never had that, or I've never been there. What about this? Do you know about this? Do you know about road rage? Do you know about getting up every morning the same time on your schedule, yet you cussing at the bus driver that's on his schedule because you won't leave 15 minutes earlier? He can't leave 15 minutes earlier. But you're talking about the traffic you're in. You're talking about all the things you're in. How about the fact that we sometimes have friends that say, if they didn't have a good coffee by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they've had a bad day.
Yeah.
Or they describe the whole day as just being a bad day when it was just a moment of time. So I figured that this book, Managing Your Madness, if we just begin with us, there are some things that we could be more acceptive of, so that when the big things do show up, we can honestly say, you know what? I think I could get through this, because my stop was not about a bus. It wasn't about a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, you know what I mean? It wasn't on that level. It was deeper. But how can I manage that if I can't manage the smaller things? So I wrote the book for that purpose. And then after they told me last year that, hey, you're in remission. You don't have a problem. But every 3 months you got to come back to get checked. Well, that's not fun.
No.
That's not fun. And I don't like roller coasters, never have. But this is a roller coaster ride that you are put on when you go into this problem, when you have the cancer. And I imagine this is the same problem, the same roller coaster that person that gets up late and follows that bus every morning. You're on a roller coaster ride. That same woman that has a problem with the child that wants to talk back. The same problem that the woman has with the domestic violence, or the man has with the domestic violence, or the man that needs that drink just to get through the week. You're on a roller coaster. You're going through the curves and the ups and the downs, and you don't know what to do. So my next one, follow-up to this book, is going to be surviving, during my recovery, because we all have to recover to live. So that's the purpose of that book.
Well, when I was prepping for the segment, I reflected on your statement about managing your madness, a lifestyle. I think it was a deliberate redirection.
Deliberate.
And that said to me that, this idea of thinking we just want to get to a destination. And you said it so eloquently. You're in remission. But every 3 months, you still have to go back to be tested. So if the destination was just to be in remission, now you would really be in this madness, because remission is not really what I thought it was. I thought I'd be done, but I'm not done. I still have to go every 3 months.
Every 3 months. And then they change it from every 3 months to every 6 months, from every 6 months to once a year. So you're constantly going on this roller coaster. And I said it's like a roller coaster ride because I have a fear of the height, and then the turns, and then this. I don't like that feeling. That rush to me. Yes, I've rode them with my children, and yes, I can put up with it, but it is not my choice of ride. That is not my choice.
Well, when you talk about the roller coaster, because I thought that was a good analogy, and I kept wanting to do this, because there's that sudden drop. You're going up the hill, or whatever, that incline. You're going up, and in our mind, I would like to think that I'm thinking it's going to be okay. But then we go down, and it's just like whoosh, and then you hit that curve, and it's like you have no control. But
you have no control.
It's I like what you said. You're writing now the surviving, because it's like you have to somehow get it in your mind that you have to live intentionally.
I have to live intentionally. I have to think about the fact that, okay, if I'm going to use this to help in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have to be able to, like you said, give someone an analogy that they can understand.
Yes.
because this cancer route, you don't understand it. And it's so different for each person because it's an individual thing. Regardless if we both have the same type cancer, we don't always have the same issues. And I found that out, ironically, going to chemo. And Dr. Taz, I want to tell you, I went to chemo with my computer and my laptop and my stuff. I'm going to sit there for these 3 hours. I'm going to write. I'm going to keep my mind off of it. And I got eyeball stares. And I'm like, well, why is everybody looking at me? So when I asked the nurse, she said, no one else in here is working on an iPad or a computer. And I said, oh, okay. I don't want anybody to feel bad, but I was trying to just take my mind off of it. And being that I write, that's what I do. But I was trying to escape the environment that I was in. You know, it would be the same if I'm on my phone, but I wasn't going to get my work done on my phone. So I just figured my iPad would be fine. But then she reminded me, everyone that comes in here has the C word. And that's the way she put it. She said, everybody in here has the C word. And you all know you all have the C word. She said, but everybody's not the same. She said, you came in, you're not a drinker, you're not a smoker, you're not, you got other, this is your only health issue. But these people come in with other issues. So whereas you feel okay, they're coming in sick. And they see you functioning. So therefore, I give out the book, I talk about the book, and I try to make people understand, live first. Live first. Because it doesn't matter if you get over your illness and you're so mentally bogged down that your anxiety is bad. Now your blood pressure is up. Now you got other things that you have created from just being stressed.
Yes.
So manage your madness. Manage it. It's madness. It is. But manage it.
And that's sometimes, I think, the hardest thing to do is to manage our madness from day to day. But, I think that also starts with not denying it. It's about, choosing how you respond to it and when you respond. Can you share a moment when you realized healing wasn't about fixing what happened, but about redirecting your thoughts and your habits and your decisions? Because even with you taking the iPad in, were you able to do that every time and keep the balance that you needed?
Well, I think I would have been able to do it every time if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could have taken it every time because I had already resolved in my mind, like you said, I had already dealt with the fact that I'm going to have to deal with this head on. I had already accepted the situation. And a lot of times that's our battle. We want to go in and argue with the doctor and tell him, well, how come, and tell him what could be and show me another way and all of it. And they're telling you what way you had to go. I'm a direct person. So being direct, when the doctor said, well, you have stage 4 cancer, I said, well, how many days I got left to live? He was taken aback.
He was taken back because he wasn't expecting that.
He was like, wait, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. And I said, well, what is there to talk about? I just need to know so I can get all of my things in order, get everything together. I came down here to live. And now you're telling me I got stage 4 cancer. And we all know stage 4 cancer, people don't live. He said, no. Let's talk about it. So one of the things that I put to everyone in accepting any condition, you have to talk to your doctors. Not your sister, not your girlfriends, not your boyfriends, not your husband. You have to speak up. Advocate for yourself. Be a self-advocate first. Now, what you share with your family, what you share with your friends, what you share with those that may speak for you, are now well informed from what you have already stated. So now when we go to the doctor, they usually say the Buchanans are here because they know my husband is going to be there, and they know that we're both listening, and they know that we're both, because we went in with that.
Yes.
Go in as a force. You're paying the bill. Why not ask questions?
Yes.
They have a degree. Why not find out how deep their degree is?
True.
And I said it right away. Hey, let's set up this thing that I'm getting ready to get on. What does it look like? You saying stage 4? How far am I taking this? And when he explained it and said, but you have no damage to organs and lymph nodes, and there's different things that stage 4, but it tells us that it's aggressive. It tells us that it will move fast. It tells us don't lay back and wait for it because you don't know how much it's going to take over. You have to find out. He said it gives us an urgency. He said, but by right, I have to tell you what you have. Everybody doesn't have a good doctor. If you can't talk to your doctor on a level that you understand, or a level where they're telling you everything, you shouldn't be going back being shocked at what's being found.
No.
So we have to advocate for yourself. So I did not get shocked into anything. I didn't because I shocked him before he could even shock me.
And that was good. because that changed the power dimensions.
Exactly.
And that's very important when you're advocating for yourself.
Advocate for yourself. And if you're too sick to advocate for yourself, advocate to your loved ones so they can advocate for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know, as you talk about your cancer journey, it's obvious that creativity is very important to you. It's almost like I'm going to call it a lifeline. How did, because you went into chemo with your iPad, so how did creativity help you to endure maybe some of the hardest moments? And what would you say to someone who thinks creativity is just a luxury that, you know, that maybe they can't afford because they don't have creativity can be found in so many things. So what would you say to someone who thinks that they can't afford creativity, and how was it a stabilizing force for you as you were going through your journey?
I think the creative nature of people is always shown in what do you do when you're bored? What do you do when you look for an alternative? Some people travel. Some people like to travel. Some people like to socialize. Some people are communicators. Some people are artists. Some, you know, in various forms. So what do you do when you're bored? Now, for parents, one of the things that I found is hone into your children's creativity. When you tell them go find something to do or go read a book, and they say, I don't want to read a book, and they go and they do something else. What is it else that they're doing? What are they doing? Because what I found out after my mother passed, I must have been in my early 40s, maybe almost in my 50s. I found out I had been writing since I was a little girl.
Oh.
So in her things that, you know, how you go through the things of the departed, when I went through her things, I found little poetry, little writings I had done, you know, little things she had kept when I was younger. And the handwriting indicated that I couldn't have been in any higher than maybe the third grade. You know what I mean? I was writing on the line paper with the dots in the middle, you know, so that's young school age. You know what I mean? So I've been writing a while, but my mother did not hone into my writing. Had she honed into my writing, I may have been on a different level.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until college that I recognized that, hey, I can write a couple of poems. I can make a couple of statements. This is what's going on. Hey, let me write about that. Let me write about this. And I just collected it. I collected children's stories. So these are things that have always been a part of the nature. It's who's paying attention to it. So a lot of times our creativity, it doesn't leave us, because what do you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
If you like movies, are you a critic of movies?
That's good.
And would you write about that movie that you saw? You know what I mean? These are the things that we do, and we don't even think about it as being creative. We just write it. But you don't know that creativity could be right there if you developed it a little bit further. If someone had honed it in just a little bit, tightened it up just a little bit. My granddaughter, well, I have two of them that just draw. And I'm like, well, where did they get that from? But because I know what happened to me, I constantly say to their parent, hone in on that.
Yes.
Because there's something there. There's something there. If they want to write, if they want, this is what they want to do. They want to draw. They want to play an instrument. They want to do whatever it is. Give them the opportunity to do it. We quick to throw them in a sport.
Yes.
We're quick to, put them in a club, so they could be in the club. But what is it that they're doing? Because that's the creativity. That's the craft.
And that's so important too. I was going to say that's so important in it, because we see little glimpses of a person's interest from, like you said, from the time that they're a little tot. But I applaud your mother for keeping all those things, though. But we don't always realize that could be their gift, and that could be where they're.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't realize we need to nurture that. But as we've grown and we have more opportunities, that is a way for parents to find a thing that sparks that student. And it may not be that that's their career path, but it may be that helps them academically, because now you're providing a way for them to enjoy the things that they like, versus, like you said, doing sports. Because I may not really want to do sports, and I may do well in sports, but if you'd have let me done this, then maybe my grades would have been better, even though they weren't bad, because I would have had this thing that I really like. That now you're saying you're giving me permission to like this thing, even though it's different. So now I figure out my own balance in how I proceed in life. And you think about agency and starting that early in our kids.
Where would they be?
Where would they be?
Because their creativity could be entirely a whole different reason for the things that we do. I mean, we're even talking, this being Black History Month. Look at all of the inventors. I'm not even talking about the other things that they contributed in history, but look at the inventors. Some of the stuff that they invented, I'm like, where did they get the interest? Where did you get that from? But it's the creativity. So I just say to everyone, hone in on that. Even as you get older, what do you rest in? What do you really enjoy in? If you enjoy reading, do you enjoy reading and reviewing? Reviewers now are a big thing especially for us as authors. We're looking for people to do reviews. So if you're a great reader and you enjoy reading, what about just writing a review? It shouldn't be painstaking for you to write a review if you enjoy I really like that book. I really like that movie. What about being a reviewer? There's some things you create the job. Create what it is.
I like that. Create the job. Create it, whatever it is that you want to do. Well, now let me ask this. Now, I talked about the fact that you write how do I phrase it? Reality fiction. And we massaged managing your madness. We've talked about creativity being a lifeline, and giving yourself permission to do more than just survive. And even with our kids, giving them a platform to explore what survival really means. Because survival is not just getting through high school, getting through college, getting a job. No, what? Because we're talking life. And as you said, that book is a metaphor for so many different things. So then I was thinking, okay, what would you say to the person who's listening right now who looks strong, but on the inside, life has just worn them down? What would you say to that person?
Write it down. One word at a time. Doesn't have to be sentences. It's just like, you know how they used to say, go in the room and close the door and just yell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying go in the room and close the door and just write it down. Don't yell. Just write it. Just write it down. The words, the questions, the why, the why nots, the what ifs, the everything that you think you can possibly spill out. Get it out. Get it out. You know, going on a vacation and then coming back to the same thing doesn't help if you don't speak about what, you know, look, girl, I needed that vacation because that job was driving me crazy. Well, now you said it.
Yep.
Now you got it out.
Yep, got it out.
You know, I've been married over 31 years. Every now and then I have to say, good Lord. You know, you just have to get it out. Every now and then you just have to say it. And if you just say it, sometimes it's almost like a breath of fresh air. You breathed it in. You breathed it in. You took it in, whatever it was, but you never let it out. You got to exhale it some kind of way. So get a pen and a pad. Write it down. Johnny was a pain in the neck today. Boom.
That's it.
You don't have to write a book. You don't have to write a book about Johnny. You don't have to do nothing else. Johnny was a pain in the neck. It's the same. Like some people say, well, I don't like sharing my business with other people. You're not sharing your business with anybody. Go in a room by yourself. Write it down. Just write it down. Get it out. Because what we hold in sits on our stress level. It sits on us mentally. It sits on us physically. So don't hold it in. Just write down one word. Oh, gosh. Just write it down. Right? And you don't have to explain it.
No.
You don't have to explain it.
Write it.
Just write it. That's what people do when they journal. They write it down.
Yeah.
That's what people do when they go to the psychiatrist. They tell somebody.
Tell it.
That's what they do when they communicate late night talk with your husband in the bed, or you know, your loved one.
Yes.
That's what you're doing. So don't get caught up because you're by yourself and you think you're going through it alone. Just put it down. Take the note to your doctor the next time you go. Let that be your advocate. These were my thoughts while I was going through it. I hate taking this medicine. Yeah. I hate being in the bed. I hate having to change my diet. I told my doctor one time, the food tastes like cement. What am I supposed? Salt don't help. Yeah. Because that's what it was. Yeah. Salt is not helping. What do? He didn't know what to do. He doesn't have cancer, so he didn't know. No. But he said, you know what? Maybe you need to just change the flavor in some kind of way. What else can you do? So he became more of a conversation than just a doctor's visit. I kind of like going to my doctor because of the simple fact it was no longer the doctor-patient thing. It was more like a friend to friend. I'm here to help you. Change it. It's your life. It's your direction. Change it.
Nanette? That's it. That's it. That was a takeaway that I was going to ask you for. And that's it. Change it. It's your life.
It's your life.
You manage the madness. Change it. It's your life. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if you feel you can't go on, you're misunderstood, you're stuck. It don't matter. Change it. It's your life. You changed your
And don't live it with the assumption that what happened to so and so is going to happen to you. Don't live with that assumption in your mind. Also, the preparation of your family members, because you're going to get family members with the woe is me. You're going to get the family members that say, well, what can I do for you? You're going to get the family members that saying, how do you prepare other family members for whatever's getting ready to come? The only ones, and I'll be honest with you, Dr. Taz, the only ones I'm worried about in that group is the children, because we don't talk to the children about grief. No. We don't talk to the children about what goes on when Nana is no longer there, or when Nana's no longer around. So in the time period of me having cancer, I did write a children's book about grief, Heaven Sent Kisses. And I had to write it because I did not know. So whatever came up during that time for me to write, to either explain, unexplain, get me through, get someone else through, help someone else, because we went through COVID during that time.
Yeah.
And people were passing away, and they didn't know whether they were passing away from cancer or passing away from COVID. So we have to think about it consciously, but be prepared. Be prepared. It's like getting ready to go to work or go anywhere the next day. What you gonna wear? What you gonna put on? Stop putting on a false smile when you really want to get deep into talking about it. Write it. Write it down. Take it with you. Sis, I wrote something down. I want to go over it with you. What do you think? Write it down. Get it out. Prepare yourself and prepare your children as well. Prepare everyone so that they know. My youngest grand know, do you need me to go get you a pill? Do you need?
We may be cultivating a position there. You know, a pill will do something for.
It'll do something for you because you laying around, so you might need a pill, you know. But we gotta do it. We gotta do it, and it's just managing your madness. It's managing your madness.
We're gonna manage our madness, and we gonna change it because our situation, because it's our life. That's it. We manage the madness. We're going to change our situation because it's our life. Nanette, how can folks get your books, and how can they stay in touch with you?
They can stay in touch with me, my name, NanetteMBuchanan.com. That's my website. Everything is there. My children's books are there. All the books are there. I also have a podcast that airs on Mondays. That's there. You can see different episodes of the podcast. I do a magazine. The magazine is there. You can see the different types of magazines that I do. So I'm easily available. It's not like I'm not available, even on the days where my madness is overwhelmed. But I will talk about it, you know. So just contact me. You can also reach me at Gmail. iPenDesigns with an S at gmail.com is my email address. But all of it is right there on my website. You can reach me there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all of those platforms where I look at it and go, why all of this? But hey, that's the times we're in. So I am on all of them. So please contact me, reach out.
Well, I know that folks will be reaching out because they're going to remember, change it. It's your life. And as I would say to my audience, before you go trying to take care of someone else, make sure you take care of yourself first, because you can change it because it's your life.
Yes.
Bye now.